Hi, this is Joseph Arthur. Thanks for checking out Come to Where I'm From. Please support us on Patreon, patreon.com/come to where I'm from. We are an independent podcast, and any contributions you can make are greatly appreciated.
Look, you're fucking trying to get the mic down my fucking throat.
Everybody is.
Really? I can see you've had problems in your life, sir.
Just lean in, Mick. Just lean in.
Definitely.
Lean in, like I could pull it to me.
Yeah.
How long you known Ehud?
About 3 days. No,
That's about as long as you need to know him, yeah.
Yeah, 15 years I've known that kid. How is that 15 years?
What year is it?
1992.
No, right now, 2020.
It's actually a decent amount of time.
Yeah, 16 years.
Yeah.
There's something weird going on here, but it's not homosexual. I mean, I don't mind if it is.
At a certain point, you know.
Yeah, and it's
at a certain point you experiment.
Not anymore.
There's certain points.
He's kidding, by the way, ladies.
No, he's not.
Just you know.
No, many a true word was spoken in
You're right,
jest.
though. You are right about that. All right,
dear.
man. Mick
what
Rock
can the
Part
matter
2.
be? I remember there's this site when it's an old English thing. 2 old ladies got stuck in a lavatory. What did they do? I don't know. I've lost it, man.
What did they do? 2 old ladies got stuck in the lavatory. What did they do?
Yeah, so it's something about what they did. I remember when I was little, that was I think we thought it was slightly waggish. You know, as a 6-year-old, you say something like that without saying anything.
And explain for American people what waggish means.
Well, yeah, waggies is like a bit of a rake, a bit of a lad. You know, something.
You need to explain the
japing, like a bit of ribbing.
Well, ribbing could come into it, but it's not necessarily an exact translation of the emotion. But so you're right, it's very good, by the way. That was when I was sitting about, I was laying on the bed going, okay, so what should I do about getting someone to shoot it, whatever it is, you know, paying them, not whatever. It's got to be a bit stupid. Otherwise, what's the point in doing it, right? Wouldn't you say?
We could each get one of these.
Yeah, I like them.
And each, this is $800. You get the Pro mic. You can get a smaller one, more stealthy than that one. And we each get a GoPro, and we put a little mic on top of that, which that one's kitted out for. And then we just pass them back and forth, film each other, talk, film the people. Then we give it to an editor, a.k.a. Ehud.
Oh, Ehud. Ehud's a great editor.
And then we fucking just do one a week, shopping with Joe and Mick.
Yeah.
And just start that show.
Are we shopping for clothes?
No, we're shopping for whatever, but we're it's
whatever's
about the conversation, available. And it's just slices of life.
Nice.
But it's framed around we're going shopping, and we have to buy something at every shop we go to.
We have to use,
and we have to buy something.
We have to use your money because you're more like a producer, whereas we're like idiot artists.
Yeah.
To buy whatever we want.
Yeah, exactly. Well, dude,
I'll give you guys an expense account.
By the way, once this show blows up, we're gonna get so much free stuff. They're gonna be like, "Come shop with us, Mick and Joe."
Yeah, I've heard Joe is not actually free.
Yeah,
I've heard tell.
I'm a rent boy.
Doshing out his favors, he likes a little bit of cough up. On
I was there
end.
way before OnlyFans.
So therein lies
way before
an insightful.
Yeah.
So yes, Sue. Well, she just said, "Do you want to do a show?" Oh, fuck it, yeah. That was the beginning of it.
It was,
and it was before the
said,
COVID.
You guys should do a show. Oh, you're talking about something else, or are you talking about now?
I'm talking about I mean, I do Milkers, which I've used lots over the years, but that's not there anymore. It's moving to Brooklyn.
Oh, you're talking about this show. I thought we were talking about our TV shows.
Oh, well, that's a whole other animal.
Oh, okay, let's talk about this show.
But
Sue was like,
now, let me tell you, the idea that really made me very hesitant was that thing about the bestiality and who actually had to do it. And I thought, well, I don't see why I should be the one who'd have to commit some act of bestiality. Do you, Ehud? You thought I was a gamer.
And now are we talking about our show again? With bestiality, I feel like
I lost track.
I think we're talking about our show again.
We're 5 minutes in, I lost track.
The bestiality, that was just a suggestion. You don't have to go through with it.
Yeah, but I
Who
didn't-
thought it would be a good idea?
I think it was those big mafiosi-looking guys you were hanging out with. Got to be a little bit wild.
Well, you know, we all go through our rough patches,
Well, rough patches. Yeah, I mean, I remember.
and we come out the other side. So, where are we? Explain where we
We're
are.
actually down. It's like Soho on the edge of Little Italy. I'm not going to mention the exact address. We don't
Okay.
want it to be too attractive.
That's true.
They'll all be wanting to come here and do things.
So, but I thought this was like an art show.
Well, that was the idea of it. But then she said, well, why would you want to do sessions here, Mick? I said, yeah. Because, I mean, it was easy with Marley. She was just staying down the road at the Bowery and didn't really have to do anything to this place, just move around. You know, it was, I mean, she had a Wrestling the Tiger to start with. I mean, that created a whole different thing.
Where'd the tiger come
Well,
from?
that he's
Mick is
Mrs.
talking about Miley Cyrus, who we photographed last
Yeah.
week here in this space. For those
Thanks
Yeah.
for
not
keeping
knowing
it. Thanks
what
for
he's
keeping
talking
it
about.
together.
Oh, right, the idiot.
Miley
Yeah.
is Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Hey, who's the translator? I guess.
Well, he seems to be, and he's not doing a terrible job.
No.
Thanks.
So what's the nature of the tiger?
I think it
Was
just,
just he-
lives there.
Oh.
I don't know why. I think Missy became enamored of him, and he moved in, and that was that. She's a very interesting lady, and a very unexpected outlook on life.
Like what?
I think she has a certain generosity of spirit, and she likes to encourage. She definitely likes to encourage art.
And she's got a lot of abundance, so maybe.
Well,
her
people,
giving-
knows, whatever.
No, but
It can
when
only
people,
be fun.
When people give a lot, then they get a lot.
Yeah, well, that's what the yogis tell you.
Right. So this just seems
Yeah.
like an example of that.
It does seem like an example, and I hadn't thought of it for someone who's so everyday. I mean, I am.
What do you- what
I
do you
almost
mean
never
by
miss
that?
a day.
Oh.
Start with the
for
meditation and the headstand,
yogi. Yeah.
and then to go into the Kriya, and then use the brain machine, do some chanting. You know, just keep it all tuned up. I've seen you trespassing on people's lawns, if you don't mind me pointing it out to you, sir. My wife spotted you. She said, "This is a very strange man out." And of course, darling, it was you. I thought, oh yeah, he's got the right spirits.
I was doing a headstand in Mick's yard.
Yeah, that could have
Just
been.
explaining. I'm doing Ehud's job of translating now.
So I was thinking, and then I thought, what about that amazing double act who came round recently, namely you two? I just thought I could appeal to you with a sense of like art. I
Yeah.
thought art might do it, you know?
Yeah.
Commerce might, oh, fuck you, Jack, you know?
Yeah.
But art, Mick Rock only does it for art. Well, he likes to get paid too,
Yeah.
but that's a kicker, you know?
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to get paid always. Sometimes he does it just because he loves it.
Right.
I don't know that. Well, I mean, you know, Miley is in pop culture is a big deal. So it's the. But her spirit, I knew the minute I hadn't thought about to be. You know, well, maybe I should shoot this one or that one. But
How did it,
once
how
I
did
said,
it come
"Oh,"
up?
because the guy that's producing her is a friend of mine for many years.
Mm.
And he's been saying, you need to photograph Miley. And Miley also bought a big Bowie print. And I'm not, and I was sure, you know, I wasn't thinking about it
Right.
till I saw her do Help. And I went, whoa, you got to see that.
Okay.
It's just her in a big fucking stadium, and she's putting the power into it. So.
Was she aware of like Lou and David Bowie and all that? Is she
Do you know, we
fans?
didn't,
You didn't go
I know
there?
her producer is.
Right.
We never got. I mean, I didn't hang out with her long enough. I did hang out a bit here and there, and the shoot. And now we're doing a bunch of discussion through.
Emails and managers.
Through
and
all the stuff.
Is she
Because
gonna
they've got to get an album cover in by fucking Wednesday.
That's what I was asking. I was asking if.
So I was like,
it's,
what
so
the
it's for an
fuck? I
album.
didn't know.
It's for an album cover.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, I don't know what it means now on an album cover. It'll be a main promo picture.
That's
and
great.
stuck on a package or two.
I can't wait to see it.
Well, I don't know if, I mean, she's been sending me particular part of this. I mean, I always shoot. It must be, some deep-rooted insecurity. But I always have to shoot a lot when I shoot, and yet sometimes when I haven't shot very much, some of the masterpieces show up at the door saying, "Well, we didn't cost much, did we, Mick? But we threw you a masterpiece."
Yeah.
Imagine Lou.
Right.
He hadn't made money for anybody.
Lou?
No, not after Velvet Underground. They didn't make him. Later, that changed. Everything changed.
Everything changed, yeah. But his solo albums were always kind of struggling, I guess, in commercial sense, right?
He only did one solo album before the Transformer cover, and then that picture wouldn't go away. It's just stuck around. But he never complains. The other ones he loves are, well, Hey Hood. Wow, that one over there.
Joseph, look at that. But that one he loved. That was like the session that he loved after the Transformer. And this was shot around the time that I shot Coney Island Baby. And he was over, and Rachel was hanging about. And anyway, we got these fantastic shots. And there's another one. Look, that one over there. That one over there. Same session. Look at Lou. He never looked better. The one, the second one down, not Hedwig. Yeah, he loved that shoot.
He looked glamorous.
Yeah.
And thin.
And thin. Oh, for sure. Well, he was married to Speed at the time. Lou was so far ahead of it all. Right? Fucking heroin. I mean, what else came out of that? He was a tape of him and I listening to Heroin, and him saying that he felt he had to write a song for all the junkies in New York, I thought, that's so big and from the heart, Lou. Well, he had his bout, but he did. The thing with Lou is he was a very willful bugger, so when he decided he didn't want to do it anymore, he stopped. He had the willpower. Miss Deborah, that was taken, no, that was 70s, and that was taken a bit before. She was, whatever, she looked fantastic. And that day especially, she looked amazing. And one of them was on that blue one over there, that was on the cover of a men's magazine, Penthouse magazine. And I don't know, it wasn't really like it was a regular career, it was just stuff I just got handed around. And I would shoot anything, I suppose. But what I really came to enjoy most was to, do a photo session where we could go into a cave, and while in that cave, explore, see what we could get out of it. And I often feel that with a session. Shrivel the brain down right there into that single energy. And things happen. It's not that logical. I mean, when you do a painting, if it were logical, you would actually get locked away for it. You get my meaning, do you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Well, I just wanted to be clear about it, I don't have any objection to your being Bats in the Belfry, but, it was a consideration, He's got a lovely pair of legs, this Ahud. Anyway, yes, and there's David, and there's Raw Power over there too. Look at that. Did you know those that care enough that Transformer and Raw Power were shot at the same location, but 24 hours apart. Imagine that. That was a brace, I thought. It's Ozzy. Look, I even like I don't know if it's, you call it gay, picture of Ozzy, but if ever there was one, that was it. Mm-hmm. But he's cute.
He's cute, man. I love that picture of him, to be honest.
Yeah,
And it's still got the hand tattoo, so it looks cool.
Oh, yeah.
Should we get, oh, you know what? We're on an episode of Shopping with Joe and Nick. We should go get tattoos.
He wants to go and shop. He has this thing about going shopping with me. It's a little kinky, I think.
It's very kinky.
Why does Joe want to go shopping with me?
It's kinky.
Yes. So, I think this atmosphere is the right atmosphere for me to do a show. Of course, that Queen image is over there. You've got to get that, darling. I know it could all be a little bit more logically designed as regards what should be shot. But it's really just about seeing them and having a bit of banter, right? A bit of banter. Mm-hmm. Or not. You saw that fucking
but how do you get like everybody like to look like what we're saying, like you make them look good and beautiful, but with an edge?
No, darling, I don't know.
It's something about their spirit performing for your spirit. I think
I think it's something about the timing too, and we were all a bit puffy anyway. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you couldn't play dress up unless you're a bit.
Yeah, I always think that's that's acting.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I thought, I'm not doing enough work.
Right.
You've done so, because there's so much of my work that isn't even out there.
Yeah.
Because there are only so many minutes in a day.
Well, that's what's fun about this day and age is we have to find other ways, and it's making
and
it's making us invent shit.
And we can.
Yeah, it's really
that's
interesting.
The thing. And also get into conversation. I mean, you've been like ravaging young men and not so young men around town since COVID started, right? Or is it something you were already doing?
I was doing that since like '86.
Oh, you've been doing like podcasts?
Oh yeah, no, we've been doing the podcast the entire time, except we took at least like 6 weeks off where we just like quarantined and all that, and then.
I tell you, the key is not to be too easy to get.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, you can overplay your hand as well, you know.
Mm.
In my time, I've done underplayed and overplayed. But tonight...
What was more fun?
Well, I think this is... Am I in the mood? No, we've got to do the pictures.
Light up the joint.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I forgot.
You forgot.
I was holding a little thing in my...
Ehud, we need to let Ehud smoke.
Not today.
Yeah, dude, you need to.
Why does he need to?
He needs to. He needs to, like...
I got responsibility.
He
all
needs
have
a hit.
responsibilities, you know.
You have a responsibility to the joint.
So
What's that, your new move?
You're pointing the camera at me.
That's what you do with the camera.
is that what you do with the fucking camera?
That's what he does.
Isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
No. Oh, yeah. That's so you don't get the, hey, do you know this trick, Mick? So you don't have that poofy putty lip thing?
No, this one. I do it to my pets sometimes, and they give me such a look, you know. It's a good thought, though. I like doing that. Mm-hmm. But I need a lighter because...
I handed you one.
Oh, sorry.
But I'll go fetch another one.
Oh, will you fucking...
I'll go fetch.
He'll go fetch.
Yeah.
But you know what?
You found
No, that's not. That's for my lips. I think you have to go and get one, darling. But I want to... Like the Kate Moss picture, I should look. Very un-Kate Moss, too. But when she talked about wanting me to shoot her, I thought... But I don't... What's the point in shooting you like everybody else, like all this fashion stuff? I'm going to show you the way I know the real you, which is rock and roll Kate. I think in the early days when I met her, I said, of course... You couldn't have hung out with us in the old days, you know, like, I don't know why the fuck I said something so stupid. But anyway, I did say it, and I remember it. And she went, oh, I hung out with Keith Richards for 4 nights.
Well, she's wearing Lou's shirt, too, the photo you took. That's like...
As it happens, yeah, I did some with an Iggy T-shirt, with a Lou, and with a Bowie one.
What did she say about hanging out with Keith?
Well, she stayed up all for 4 nights with Keith. That's... You know, I hadn't done it. It was like if you're talking about the social order, I don't think I'm going to give this to him, you know, because I don't like the fucking hat. No. I would have liked a boater.
I don't know, it's T-Rex.
It's not bad.
Or it's Slash, I guess. I'll take it off.
Well, you can't flash me. No, it's too homosexual, this flashing stuff that's going on. You know?
I said Slash.
Oh, well, that's what I thought you said, flash.
Slash.
Oh, you're being
Slash.
flashy.
The guitar player for Guns N' Roses.
Slash.
Slash.
I thought
like
you
he
said.
Wears the hat.
Yes, indeed he does. And he's a very nice person. So.
Saul.
But he's a nice guy.
I'm sure he is.
He's surprised he would hang out with the sort of gentleman personally, but I mean, so this is like a little set. There's lots of different places you can shoot in here. So it was just there.
Where'd you guys shoot? Right there?
Well, different places
Look,
in
there's
here.
a stripper
In the
pole,
middle,
too.
over here on one of the chairs. In the little, I don't know, there are about 6 or 8 little places, and to make an interesting picture, it doesn't have to be full of stuff. It doesn't have not to be, but you know, I like it when there's less in there, because you can taste the blood a little better.
Taste the blood?
Well, you ought to be able to lick it, you know, the blood. Yeah.
So stuff makes it harder to taste the blood?
I think when they get a bit older, yeah. I think it's something, you know, everything gets a little bit, the tubes aren't so elastic, you know. Would you like a bit more of this, darling?
Okay.
I think you should have some. It's funny, why does one do the things that one does? You know, why did you become a photographer, mate? I don't really know. Don't know. LSD. Something to do with LSD.
Yeah.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I'm like, yeah, I was probably going on about that. It's one of his obsessions, LSD and photography.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have happened otherwise.
Why not? You wouldn't have seen the magic in it?
I just wouldn't have seen how much magic there could be. And this opened that door. The other thing in those days was you really didn't know, nobody really knew, and you didn't really know how much you were taking, you know?
Right.
That was a big thing.
That's the same as it is now.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, if somebody sells you blotter acid...
Yeah, this was blotter acid, yeah.
How do you know how strong? There's no way to know how strong it is.
No, especially as the guy who gives it to you is probably on acid as well. So he has no way of knowing. It's but that did change it, and I think it was LSD more than anything else that changed the culture, gave people how to look at the culture with a completely new eye. It wasn't. I never thought much about photography. It was just something that seemed to work, and I was getting paid much money, so it didn't really matter.
Right.
But I was making a bit of money, and you could survive in the middle of London or New York with very little money back then. You know.
Did you have other things like, I
would write
do
little
photography, but I do other stuff? What else?
Well, I would sometimes do little interviews with people that I would photograph, and maybe art directed. It's I don't know. It wasn't planned. One thing kept rolling into another one. Right. It wasn't like I had an agent or anything like that. But, and especially for like a rock photographer, that's not really exactly top of the game. Nowadays, it kind of is.
Who else was there like at that time that was like a big rock and roll photographer though? That you...
Well, I didn't know him so well because he was in New York. I was in London. It was Bob Gruen.
Right.
He's been a mate of mine for many years. He's and he's a character.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
How'd you meet him?
Probably late night, some night somewhere,
And were you fans of each other's work, or?
I think it was enough that who knew how to judge it? Who knew? Oh, he's a great rock photographer. Yeah, but no one ever talked about rock photography till about 2.5 years ago. So how do you judge it? And then gradually, obviously, the passage of time. I know when I 96 had the heart attacks, went in and I started to realize there was money. People were interested in the early stuff. I thought it would come and be forgotten. I mean, maybe whatever, with David, Lou, and
But
Iggy.
it's been a while since people have been super interested in those albums and photos that you took, Raw Power or the Iggy.
Well, I mean, to be fair to all they are, whatever it means, highly regarded.
Right.
That's for sure. How much money they made, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. And I didn't really think about that because you could get by without a lot of money in London or New York. And you could have a good time. You didn't have to, I didn't think a lot about money. I mean, you had to think about it a little bit here and there. But it was a unique time. And you couldn't find somebody all the time. There is one thing. I mean, there are too many positive things when it comes to the visual world about the internet, but still, I mean, I do miss a time so long ago now when nobody knew where the fuck I was, because I didn't have a phone and nobody did.
Yeah, and
I
everything
thought
was
that
so
was-
much more mysterious.
Yeah.
Like you saw your images, maybe you see a picture of you in page 6, something like that.
Yeah, but none of it was a big deal per se, but it was fun. It was, what else are you going to do? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a bit, well, all of that stuff. I mean, that first Velvet Underground album, I remember hearing that. And it didn't sound like anything else out there.
Right.
But, of course, I'll Be Your Mirror. I mean, that's that. I mean, what Lou wrote that for her to sing to him.
Yeah.
He used to complain that nobody recognised his guitar playing. I thought that was funny that he would get upset about it. Well, they do call you a genius. Maybe whatever. You're given your own respect. You are regarded as being something of a creative genius.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck creative genius. I want the guitar stuff.
You know what's so funny is he was really into guitar and like the technical aspects of it and like the chords and all that stuff mattered.
The technical
He had like a
aspects.
Moog guitar. I got one from the factory, and then
Because of him.
and I texted him that I was like having buyer's remorse, and he wrote back to me, "Don't have buyer's remorse. That thing is godly."
Godly.
He said the word godly. Isn't that funny?
It was like a sustained guitar, crazy
Yeah.
sustained.
Well, Lou was a very bright lad, and he'd had something. He'd had his, electroshock treatment.
Yeah, but he was so inventive with the guitar. I can understand why. And he
wanted the respect for
he
it.
wanted the respect for it. And he, like, one time too, I remember him, like, this sounds super name droppy because
We
I'm
were
like-
allowed. We knew Lou well.
And-
We're allowed to. He was our friend.
Yeah, and he like was showing me some headphones or something, and then his iPhone, it had the Van Halen. The Van Halen 1 was what came up on his iPhone. I was like blown away. But it makes sense because it's like fucking Eddie Van Halen is like one of the best ever guitar players. So it's like, and
I
of
never
course, Lou
took
would
much
recognize
notice
that.
of Van Halen. I mean, you could hear that he was, he could fucking play a guitar, but That's not
Yeah, it
was
so,
not enough to stir me. It wasn't.
It was so much more than that though too, because
Yeah,
the
he was,
sound
it's
of the
true.
thing was so alien and just like otherworldly.
But Lou was a different animal.
Yeah,
He came out of a completely different fucking weird area.
right. But his guitar solos in the Velvet days, where he
Oh,
would just
yeah.
go like those noise solos, were like
Yeah.
they were like Ornette Coleman or something. They were like jazz.
Well, he was a big fan of all that stuff. He
Yeah.
was a big jazz fan.
They're
yeah.
great, and so I can, and also the Metal Machine music is like kind of groundbreaking.
I remember when he recorded that
Really,
in London, and
he did it in London.
did he record it in London, or had he just recorded it in New York and he
then
had flown over for some reason? I can't remember, to be honest with you. But I remember him. There was a guy called Bob Ring, who was the A&R man at RCA Records, because they signed a cluster. It was Bowie, it was Lou Reed, and it was Ray Davis and the Kinks.
Wow,
All,
the
all
best
signed.
songwriters.
Yeah. I mean, that was a golden era, those three. But then came Walk on the Wild Side and the Transformer cover, and he had an image and he had a thing. And he also made a bit of money,
Right.
which wasn't fucking was not a crime,
No.
you know. It's
And then he like did Metal Machine music.
well,
and then,
that was a fucking like a weird one, and that
like annihilated or alienated. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
fans. But then he comes out with Coney Island Baby right after that.
Lou was, but you couldn't catch Lou. Lou he was tricky. You couldn't pin him down.
Right.
He was about as pure a rock and roll artist as you could ever get. I mean, you could argue that for some other people, but there's no doubt with Lou.
Yeah.
He was a different animal. But I,
When did you realize that? After like?
well, no, I
how
knew it
long?
before I met him. I wasn't thinking about the guitar. I was thinking about Lou Reed and the lyrics, and he represented something like New York.
Mm-hmm.
And you think of rock and roll, okay, they're the Beatles and Liverpool, and Lou and the Velvets and New York.
That's
Can't
true.
think of any other band that is totally identified
With New York.
well with any city. I mean, I suppose you could claim Bob Marley and
Jamaica.
Jamaica, yeah.
Like maybe like Brian Wilson in California.
Yeah, I think that's a
Sorta.
legitimate one. He was, but the idea.
But yeah,
of
Lou is New York.
What?
Lou is New York.
Well, he consumed it. He just like. It's very hard. I mean, I've written things about Lou. I've taken pictures. I've gotten involved with touring shows, and he's totally unique. And I've got tapes of him just chatting. Used a bit of it in that documentary, shots,
Yeah.
bits of me and Lou talking.
Right.
And then he shows up at the end when we were launching the Transformer book,
Right.
which was the last of several that I had done with Genesis publications. But up there is Miss Kate Moss. She wanted me to shoot her. And I mean, I can't, even though I've shot a campaign, big one for Gucci, that's not where my spirit goes, you know? I mean, not the beautiful people, fantastic people to deal with. And he gets it, Alessandro Michele.
The Gucci guy?
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. Very nice. And so he
How'd you meet him?
because
He sought you
they
out?
contacted me
Right.
to shoot a campaign for him. Because you got to meet with somebody, you got to talk a little bit, show them some other work, and then they said, "Yeah, it's cool, let's go ahead."
What year was that?
That would have been 2017, I believe.
Oh, and they were like, we want Kate Moss in it?
No, she didn't get in it.
Oh, who was in it?
Oh, there were Italian people, and also the daughter of Alain Delon and Catherine Deneuve.
Huh.
And she was one of the people. And she was good fun. It's But no, I never thought, oh, rock photographer. It just happened that way. And that was got me excited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't shoot something if you're never going to get any excitement out of it.
Right.
So I never ever thought about being. Not that I have any objection when I found out how much money they were paying for a campaign. I thought, okay, you support the arts effectively.
Yeah. And how many did you end up doing?
Well, just did one big campaign, but it was quite a few shots
Okay.
over 2.5 days in Rome. I'd done this huge Bowie exhibition at the Museum of Pop in Seattle. And when I came back to New York, I went to, I suppose must have flown to Rome to shoot this campaign, and then to London to launch the documentary. So it was a little bit of there was lots of buzzing about.
You were killing it.
There were corpses everywhere.
Listen, next time Gucci wants a campaign, you tell him that you should put me in it. I think me and
I'll
you
tell him that if you want divine insanity to inspire it all, I know a gentleman.
Yeah.
How much are you going to pay him? No, well, I want 50%. That's what the colonel used
You
to
can be my manager in this.
Yeah, for 50%.
Okay. I drive a hard bargain.
These things just happen because they happen. I've shot a few things, but it was never that I sought it. Never like they just came trotting along. Like, what do you call it? What are the Ray-Bans? There's a bunch of stuff for them, and also.
But when they get you to do these campaigns, do they bring rock stars in so that it like fits with the campaign?
Normally they're too cheap to do that.
Oh.
Easier to get some kind of
Look-alike.
Local models and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's not about a personality unless
Not
it's
really.
unless it's like a branding deal or something.
Yeah, but got to be very careful of that.
Yeah.
To be too identified. You say, well, how did you get so identified with this brand? They gave me a lot of money.
Yeah.
There was no other reason other than the fact that I liked the designer. He was fabulous.
Did you buy anything fun with the money?
No, they gave me stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? A bunch of Gucci stuff?
Yeah.
Damn. That's awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like what kind of stuff?
I could get good favors from the wife.
Shit.
For some of that.
That's nice stuff.
Yeah, we.
I would have like Gucci slippers, a Gucci robe. I would be Gucci head to toe if I had your deal.
Well, we're going to see what's
would
happening
be.
next. So why? I don't want to get intellectual about rock and roll photography.
Okay.
But I've had people try to, but I can't really explain it. I can explain the individual moves and how things pop up, but why? That's a big fucking mystery. I don't know. And why did you?
Also,
why
it's
so-
timing. You were at a place in history that was like so cool
with a certain sensibility, which was
so cool to capture. It's like divine.
me and Divine.
Like divine because your sensibility matched up with the time.
Oh, yeah,
so fucking
yeah.
great.
As it happens.
You know what I mean?
Well, I wasn't like I'd like to be at the forefront of the times as the culture shifts. Do you think you could arrange that for me?
I think we're doing it again with Cooking with Joe and Mick. I mean, Shopping with Joe and Mick. I think we're doing it all over again.
All
man.
over it, piecing it.
Like,
It'll be one of those.
Sky is the limit.
Kafka. It'll be like a Kafka novel. Where you keep. And what's that movie by not Buñuel? Yes, by Buñuel. Exterminating Angel, right? Where they keep trying to leave the church. And they can't. Oh, I'm not fucking throwing this away. That's for damn sure.
Did you just toss the joint?
I did. I did. But I think what we should do now is strolling.
Drawing?
Strolling.
Strolling. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
let's stroll.
But I think we should go over here. This was the last Ziggy Stardust tour, which was like June and July of 1973. And he was in full, the Well, Pierre Le Puff, as we used to call him, but David specifically called him Pierre Le Puff, did the makeup. He also did the makeup on Aladdin Sane and Pin-Ups. Died in the late 80s of AIDS in New York. He was a wild one. Anyway, that picture's been around a bit. It's been on book covers, and people like it.
It looks like a painting.
Yeah, it's amazing, really. But how about, now this is not what people expect. Mick Rock, normally you get some more butch photographer would shoot someone like Ozzy. I know the family really like it. I know Kelly likes it. I know the wife, because he looks cute. In the end, I mean, fuck the art. He looks cute, but he does look like a poet. Look, and the hair.
Yeah, he does look good.
I think what the fuck is this doing in here? What's that doing?
Oh, it's your microphone.
That's your mic.
It's been up my ass. I clean it, but But Kate Moss, now when was this? This was 2002. I met her, that's how these things often begin. And I thought, this was 2002. I just had these T-shirts made up with famous Lou and Iggy and Bowie images on them. And she was more rock and roll than a lot of rock and rollers were by then. But I couldn't hang out. Those days were past for me. I had been through, the trial by fire and been chopped open in December of '96. So I was officially retired from kind of extreme living. And I like the pictures. There's certainly some are going into my new book. I think I'm going to go back and find what I've got of Joe. But I think the kind of leather fag look, I think that's very Joe. Don't you think so?
I think so, for sure.
Yeah. Well, Joe, he's a bit of a, how's your father? Well, I love being strictly specific to the point. So, Kate, I don't know why certain pictures really work. I don't know. I just fucking do it and get on with it. Because in the end, if you don't get on with it, there's nothing to show.
Just by being, he fucks up. I think that's the general thing. Just by the fact of his being.
Who? Ehud?
Yeah, exactly.
He's all right.
No, he's fun.
He's
actually.
fun. So what do you think about Nikki Sixx? Ehud wants to know.
I like Nicky.
I want him on the podcast.
You want him on the podcast?
Yeah.
Well, he lives in LA.
We'll go to L.A.
Yeah, I know Nicky.
No, he's in. Actually, I follow him on Instagram, and I think he's in Wyoming right now. He's
Who knows? He
he's
gets
doing,
about.
which is I think is cool. Like I have that same fantasy of escaping into nature.
Well, he's fun. I like him. When I met him in '86, which is when I did the bubble bath pictures. Mm-hmm. But I've taken other pictures too. He's very bright. He was, because he wrote nearly all the material for Motley Crue.
Right.
And he's the one who hustled them to, do about 6 farewell tours and God knows what else.
And he did the Heroin Diaries.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And I think that was going to be a musical, or was it a musical or something like that?
Sure, it would have been a marvelous musical, especially with him as musical director.
And he's a photographer.
Yeah, he is, yeah. I like him.
Yeah, he's the artsy type.
Yeah, he's definitely. But the fact that he kept them together and kept them going, he'd be like...
I loved them. Shout at the Devil era. They were probably my favorite band at that time.
Really? I didn't know you were. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, fuck
no.
Oh, now we're going to be friends again.
No, but
we're going to be friends again over Motley Crue. Now we're in love again. This is what the secrets of our success.
You've never
we're back.
mentioned Motley Crue, dude.
Dude,
Well, it
I was
doesn't
fucking
count.
Shout at the Devil was like when
Really?
that album kills.
Yeah.
Like that album is so good, and I was like right at the right age when that album came out, and it was like a little bit edgier than Kiss. It was just killer.
She's
Yeah.
got the looks that
Yeah.
killer.
Well, I should put a Monty... I wonder if I've got a Monty. if I've got any Motley Crue prints sitting around
I
here.
would love that. See, that's something I'd hang in my crib in a second.
Right.
Like,
Full Motley Crue, not just Tommy Lee.
yeah, I'm full of Motley Crue. Like
Yeah,
back
Motley
especially
Crue.
especially taken from, I know the photos you took of them. Whose idea was it to put him in the bath?
I can't remember. It was 1986.
So
It was one of several things we were going to do. I didn't shoot a lot in there, but I did shoot in the ones with the glass, the ones with the candles. Yeah, we'll give them a little bit of an arty twist instead of just plonk.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Did you hang out with them?
not like I would have in the old 10 years earlier, because I shot them up first. Aha!
Oh, cool.
That photo.
That's
Just lean it
amazing.
against the table.
Yeah,
Wow. Oh, I never saw that photo.
yeah. I've done a lot of things you never thought of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Are they wearing underwear, all of them?
I didn't see any monstrous
Cocks.
penises wandering about in there. Would have scared me. You know.
Well, rumor has it is Vince is hung like a horse. Oh,
Who-
no,
who?
wait, it's one of the other guys.
It could be. Hold on.
Tommy.
I
not
kid.
Vince.
I know.
Tommy. Clearly.
It's
Tommy.
But they still pop up though. I mean, he's really milked it, Nicky.
yeah,
I
well,
didn't
I mean,
know he was the driving force.
they should make
No, he
another album.
was.
Why
Definitely.
not? They're all still.
Yeah. No, but it was Nicky
They
because
released
Mick Mars doing
Saints
okay?
of L.A. or something not too long
That was a
ago.
long
Mick
time
Mars.
ago.
Mick
Yeah.
Mars
Mick
is
Mars.
ill. Is not.
He's
at
been
his
ill for a
best.
long time.
Yeah, for a very long time.
Yeah,
but they like
but
to
he's gotten on with
you
it.
know, the real.
Still.
He stands there every tour.
Yeah,
till,
he's
like,
killer.
He's got to do it because otherwise it ain't Motley Crue.
No.
With them, right? It's been almost. Well,
They had that
Vince
one
left
thing.
for a minute.
And then they got the. You always have to stick with the same hair
And
color.
then they brought him back.
You can't get a lead singer then and change the hair color. It changes the band too much.
But that
It's
was
too
done-
shocking. It's like get another blonde guy then,
Right, right.
and that would have
looks
worked.
like him.
Or just dye your hair platinum blonde. I bet it would have worked.
It might well have. I didn't know you should be the art director, but I get the feeling you should. But yes, I like them. I mean, I like all kinds of stuff. If I can find them, I took the very first pictures of Lemmy. What was his
Motorhead.
Motorhead, yeah. There was a different drummer. He was only around for that one album.
Guys,
It's amazing.
Guys,
What are you doing?
there's the Yappity Yappity.
Oh,
over there.
Yappity
The
Yap.
Peanut Gallery.
Does that mean they're monkeys?
So you're saying Lemmy? Sorry.
Lemmy, yeah, there was so many things going on. Well, the trouble is I lost a couple here and there. But I kept the main stuff. All that Bowie and Lou and Queen and Iggy and Freddie and Debbie and Rocky Horror and Sid Barrett. You know, that's the capper. Who else has got... I mean, there were a couple of photographers who took a few of Sid, but nobody has got my collection. Sid Barrett. A mystic, no less. But
he was touched.
Well, no, he touched a lot of people. A lot
Yeah.
of smart, like Bowie. Bowie was very impressed by the fact that I had taken LSD with Sid.
Was he like, his music is so kind of, in a way, bizarre. Was he bizarre just in connecting with him as a person, or was he just
No,
normal
I
as
didn't
hell?
find him that way. I don't know. I mean, some people did. You know, relationships are about chemistry with people, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard. Why do you two get on? Because you told me you'd have him like taken out if you could find the right opportunity.
Wow.
Yeah, I understood
Not
immediately. Having met
permanently,
him.
just
No,
like
I
sort
understood.
of
Yeah.
made to leave the country and
Yeah.
not allowed to come back.
Yeah, well, that's reasonable, I would
Right.
say. Yeah.
Not-
I'm not following. What's
We're
going
riffing on that I'm trying to get you killed.
on? Oh, good.
You got to
But
keep
nicely.
up.
Deported, like
No, no, but
I
nice.
lost the
I
train.
downgraded it to just you have to get deported out of the country and you can never come back.
Got it.
But at least I let you keep your life.
Thank you, Poppy.
Yeah, I think that was
You
very
know.
big. I think the fact you let
Big
you
of
keep
it.
your
Considering all that we've dealt with, we should do Kundalini together. Have you ever?
Oh, especially we resurrect the Kundalini, then we'll be in fucking trouble.
Let's do it. It's amazing. I did my second ever Kundalini class yesterday, and
Are you serious?
it was incredible. I've never done that before. I've
Oh,
done
yeah.
breathing stuff, but and I've done a lot of hot yoga, a lot of the hatha yoga and all that, but I
Yeah.
never did Kundalini much
Kundalini
or at all.
is the goods.
It is the goods. It's like the weird mystical one.
And you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
It's
For people that don't know, it's like lots of breathing, mantras,
the breathing.
You know, you
Let's
kinda-
go and get doped out on
oxygen.
oxygen. Yeah.
That's a big part of your secret.
Well, I don't know if there's a secret.
or energy.
But yeah, if I've got things to concentrate on, then whether it's a session or doing something like tonight or whatever, a project, then I'll. That was cool. You remind me a little bit of Sean Lennon at times.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I like Sean. He's a nice guy.
Sean's a cool dude.
We're trying
Yeah,
to
he
get him
is.
on the podcast.
Yeah,
too.
I like his Twitter personality too. Like his tweets and stuff they're funny and they're smart. And
Yeah.
he takes kind of rebellious stances here and there. Yeah, I don't know. I like him. I don't know him that well. I've
and
met
he's
him a
done
couple
some good
times,
music, although he didn't bother to pursue it particularly. But he is.
He's
who
still
he
doing
is.
it though. Like he
And
had
has a
that band.
certain thing in life. I mean, if you're one of John Lennon's two sons,
Yeah, he had that band with Les Claypool not that long ago,
he's
and his girlfriend and him have a band.
she's a character.
yeah.
She's he bought a couple of my smaller pieces of art, like the Bowie one I maybe showed you,
Oh, okay.
and the Lou Reed one.
Nice.
So, but I'm starting to push that out a bit more. So it's well, I just enjoy.
How are you going
doing it.
about doing that? Pushing
You
it
know,
out a
I've
bit
even
more?
done a bit of. Who was it? The guy from, but I don't have it. The guy from Oklahoma City. What's his name? Flaming Lips.
Wayne Coyne.
Wayne, yes. And we did a project at his place where we both had two bits of painting that were. We did a lot of spray painting.
Oh, cool.
And but I don't know. I've probably got a still of the art, so maybe a few. But what are we thinking of doing? We need one more run down to the end to finish that. Oh, I did the Bob Gruen one. I did the one with the guy. He owns my future, darling.
What? Who does?
The villain over the road there, darling.
The book publisher?
No, the villain.
Ehud?
Ah.
The villain.
Well, no, you could be the villain of the piece. You could cast him as the villain, couldn't you? What could he have done that would be so fucking awful, you know? What could he have done? Could have called me a cunt. And guess what? A lot of people would actually be in agreement.
I don't know. I feel like you're a well-liked person.
Yeah, but liked by who?
I don't know.
Exactly.
The New York Night.
Oh, man. I wallowed in New York for about a decade. It just went on and on. But the one thing I was not into, or the two things, or maybe three, was I never was a drinker. I didn't like heroin, and I wasn't big on pills. I was, bounce me off the ceiling and take your time. Lots of that and a certain amount of speed.
Bounce me off the ceiling. Take your time. That's acid.
No, you could bounce off the ceiling with
Weed.
cocaine and
Oh,
weed.
coke,
Yeah.
okay.
Depends on your state of being
I should've
going
known,
into
yeah.
it. Yeah, you see. Like,
So, and even when you were on coke, you didn't want to drink?
Nah.
Seems like you have to, make it mellower by drinking.
Nah.
Not that I'm recommending it, but...
Nah. No, I didn't. I had a
Nah.
big blockage to it. I mean, I'm happy I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a good crack at whacking things out anyway between my near death and also the kidney transplant. But they were good, like, I don't think you'll be going back to that sort of behavior, Mick.
Right.
Because there's certain bells that echo in your head.
Yeah.
And there's no way, I just don't.
Well, it's just like, yeah, you have to be in the place of being able to completely go against your own side.
Yeah,
And
but the fear is fear and pain are fucking amazing for straightening your head up.
Exactly.
I mean, they're huge.
They're huge.
I can't say that I knew the time had come and I made an existential decision.
No.
Because I didn't. It just kept going, and but I
and
did
the
go
fear
to
kicks in.
some AA meetings. This is, it's a long time ago. I think because they say every 7 years, your body, the material that is your body, and it changes.
Yeah, regenerates.
Exactly. So I figure, well, that's gone. That old Mick Rock has gone. We kicked him out of the fucking door. He was becoming a pain, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I had to get rid of him.
That's cool.
Took some nice pictures here and there, couple of good ones. The Ramones, for starters.
Yeah.
Then the Dead Boys. I've shot those guys too.
What do you think the Mick Rock of them would think of the Mick Rock of now?
I think they think I was a boring bastard,
Really?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
No, it was very popular in my day. I don't need to be that popular this stage. But I like doing stuff.
And how is like this quarantine and all that changed where your head's at in terms of, like you say, you get into other things?
Well, no, I've just gotten into other things. It seems like things come to me.
Right.
And then I interact, So I don't draw any conclusions because there aren't any conclusions. You start drawing conclusions and God will come down and smack you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my fear.
That's pretty true.
But smack, not fucking around shit.
Right.
Like a good thump upside the head.
Mm-hmm.
One of them. So, but I still like Lewis Carroll, best of all. I found it recently, a printout. Your old Father William, the young men said. A couple more line, and then it goes, and yet you perpetually stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? That's a Lewis Carroll. I can't remember where it comes in, but I love it.
That would make a good tattoo, like down my leg.
You can have a tattoo down there.
Yeah. Will you text me that or email it to me?
What do you want me to do with your legs?
No, I just want you to text me and think about my legs.
I knew there was something a little bit with this one,
No, that's beautiful. I love that. Lewis Carroll.
He's got great quotes. Great quotes.
I didn't know that.
Even Through the Looking Glass, there's amazing
Oh,
shit
yeah.
in there. And if you read it as an adult, you realize how fucking trippy and high he must have been to write that stuff.
Yeah, it was all them mushrooms
It's
out
not kid stuff, dude.
Right.
there. That was smothered in mushrooms out there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I know about Oxford and Cambridge because I went to Cambridge.
Yeah, there is lots
So
of
what the
mushrooms there in the cow fields. I mean, that's where they grow, so you can go pick them in the English countryside.
Yeah.
We used to do that at Real World Studios.
Well, then you have the inside track on the British experience.
It's a cool experience, that English countryside, rolling hills and cow.
Yeah. It's a bit like...
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but it doesn't energize.
It does in a certain kind of way.
Maybe it does. It tickles one's testicles occasionally. Yeah.
Exactly. Gives you the old testicle tickle. Can never underestimate that.
Oh, boy. Testicles.
The old testicle tickle.
No, we don't want to discuss fucking testicles anymore, man.
No, you're right.
They don't. They do look like something out of Alien. The way they just hang.
That's
there,
true.
right?
They're eggs.
So you think they look like that monster from Alien? The black
comes
monster
out.
That he hatches out of.
Yeah, and then the testicles. Testicles weren't built to be really that good looking.
Man, for a guy who doesn't want to talk about testicles anymore.
It's often like that. You'll find the one that doesn't want
you sure got a lot to say about
it. You can't get off the fucking subject.
The English side is boring. That's why everyone wants to leave there, all the rock stars. You said it doesn't energize.
No. It's all right if you want a nice, like Stevie Winwood, go and live out in the country, you know, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know which way any of it should have gone, because as a photographer, there wasn't any obvious way for you to improve. You took pictures, that's what you did. But it wasn't like, it was a purpose, and this is what I'm going to be, and I'll be the best there ever was. And you go, oh, that's all bullshit. How do you judge what was the best? Nothing's the best. Everything can be in contention, but nothing's the best.
There's
it's just about
abundance
taste.
for all.
What's that?
There's abundance for all in all ways.
There is.
Yeah. What was better, London or New York back in the day?
I preferred New York because it was more likely to get into mischief, to be honest with you. The drugs were better here. The girls were better here. It was more fun.
Huh.
The
Music was better here.
But they had
Actually,
the
it
100.
was, so-
Did you ever go to the 100 Club in London?
Yes, I did. In fact, I shot some pictures, early pictures of the Sex Pistols there.
Fuck. That's amazing.
Sex Pistols, Mick Rock, photographs. Yeah, I think I've got the first pictures when Tom Petty came to America. A guy called, what was his name? Tony Dimitriadis, who was an English guy, and he was a friend of my accountant. And he had this American band called Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Wow.
And they never been to New York before. And so I went to see them, and I've got the pictures. I never get round to sorting them out because there's, all these other collections that seem to spell more immediate need.
How many did you take? A ton of pictures of them, or just live shots, or what?
Of who?
Tom Petty.
No, it was just that one time. He come to New York, CBGB's, it must have been the late 70s.
Huh.
I don't know why they would have paid there, but sometimes, a booker just wants to get someone in somewhere.
Well, it's the cool club too. It has the history.
Yeah, and
so
you're right. That's probably was it.
Musicians like to go to historical clubs and play.
Yeah, when you get old.
There's like a ghost that you get to interact with.
Get old. Hope I die. Pete Townsend, though, still hasn't fucking died. I mean, he was wishing for it from very early on, and he still hasn't has the decency to just fucking do it. No, I like Pete Townsend.
I was wondering.
No. I think he's fabulous.
I
He's
love
a
his
true
songwriting,
original.
yeah.
Pete, true original. Very difficult to compare his work to anyone else's. It's not like it had a blues tradition. It's hard to say what the fuck it was. And it wasn't like love music, really, was it?
No, theatrical.
Yeah.
It lent itself to musical
London.
theater.
Very London.
Yeah.
View on things. But
He's very composery, for
yeah.
lack of a better way.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah. Early on.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Tommy.
Rock operas.
Yeah, he was. No, I always thought Pete was.
And then John Entwistle is such a crazy, amazing bass player, and then
Yeah.
Keith Moon is such an insane, out
But
there
Pete
drummer.
wonders why he didn't die as well, I'm sure. Because he should have. But he was into Keith, I know. It was more like Roger and John, if there were camps, but that would be, and then Keith Moon, who essentially in those early Who days was the lead instrument.
Right.
He was really the lead instrument.
It's
Keith
just
Moon.
unbelievable. Nobody ever
And
played
Pete
anything.
was like the rhythm guitar player.
He held it together. That is
Yeah.
like Keith and the Stones.
Yeah.
Where Keith holds it together more.
Yeah,
I
well,
guess. Charlie Watts holds it together too really
Yeah.
well, though.
Yeah, those relationships that bind
Yeah.
a unit. Because you think, fucking Charlie must wake up one morning and go, ugh, I got to listen to those two boring bastards all day today. I'm going to roll over and fuck them.
Did you photograph Ronnie Wood and them?
Yeah, I did photograph Ronnie Wood.
I love Ronnie Wood.
Yeah, he's a very nice and very talented man.
And he paints.
His ego is beautifully contained.
Have you ever heard his album, I Got My Own Album to Do?
No, he was always complain a bit about that. He always have to give Stones all his songwriting ideals, and he'd get left with a bit of the leftovers.
That's interesting. That album's really good, though.
Well, he's a talented man.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut in, but the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers played 2 nights at CBGB's, December 14th and 15th, 1976.
Wow. I was there.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And there's the post.
What month was it?
December 14 and 15,
Coming up.
1976.
Well, I had been over working with Lou
And the poster
on
says
the Rock and Roll Hearts.
Tom Petty and, in parentheses, the Heartbreakers from Miami, Florida.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Look.
See, that's just like being that, getting to be there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I was there. But I didn't know who the fuck they were.
How
I mean,
good-
Refugee.
Do you remember that? How good they were or anything like
I
that?
don't really remember, no. That would be that, probably like stuff like Refugee. I mean, that was the first time my antenna.
That's such a
spread.
good song.
Yeah, definitely.
So like so melodic and rock and roll and fucking.
And he had that
simple.
birdsy thing going on too,
Mhm.
didn't he?
And his
Jim
voice is
McGuinn.
great.
Yeah.
And then
he fucking
Mike Campbell,
died.
is that the guitar player?
Yes.
Mike Campbell.
He's been touring with.
He's great.
Hasn't he been touring
The
with
whole
Fleetwood
band,
Mac?
Ben Mott.
He's been touring with Fleetwood Mac. Yeah.
Him and Neil Finn.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
took over for.
They needed 2
Lindsey
guys
Buckingham.
to replace Lindsay. They got Neil Finn and Mike.
Yeah.
One of them can sing, one of them can play guitars.
Isn't it funny the whole like blow up that cranberry juice guy that did the Fleetwood Mac
saw
on the
that.
skateboard and he just blew up?
Yeah.
He blew you.
Long distance.
Never actually happened to me. I was always
man.
hoping.
It happens every time. Man, that's funny.
So we're
Yeah.
going to go to the end there and just do a little bit more checking.
And then we got to paint. Or are we?
No, we're going to have a quick. If it's a half an hour frenzy, we're going to do that. Whatever the fuck
Okay.
we're going to do.
Well, you know what? We don't need to go anymore.
What are we going to do about paint on the floor?
Yeah, just be a little bit more careful.
Watch out, just behind you.
What do you think?
It looks good, but we got to clean that floor.
We do. Yeah, we need to do it now.
That looks great.
Right? Zapata. Right, definitely Mexican Revolution. I would say personally. Don't you think so? I think you should go for that particular slot.
Can I
Did
be
he crack on? I don't care. Did he crack on? I don't care. Did he crack on? And I don't care. Oh, I think he's touting the look again. Fill it up, mate. Yeah, let's fucking stop dick bollocking about. Okay, well, I did my best. What can I tell? There's still work. It's a work in progress. Brushes. Yeah, it looks like it wants a pal. Look, there's another one down here. Look. But that one says you. It's got your name all over.
All over it, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're blind. I think that's very reasonable. Give me crack on, and I don't care. Give me crack on, and I don't care. The master's gone away. Yeah, that's why I don't care. You know? Oh, what happened there? I got fucking shit all over. Well, that's not so fucking terrible. I think. Zapata! All right? It's your turn. Yes. Up your bum, says I. Okay. Yeah, I think you have to hold it up as well. That's a lot of jobs you've got, I agree. You shouldn't have to do them all, but you hang around with some dodgy fucking characters, I'll tell you that. I don't know what you fucking expect. And I don't care, the master's gone away. Jimmy Crack gone, and I don't care. Whoa, just fucking like, you know, playing dick ball. That's what you've been playing, fucking dick ball all night.
I like the orange.
Yeah, I like there's a little bit of flavour in it.
Yeah.
A little bit, not too much.
Well, let's bring out the second canvas.
Okay.
It's really.
It's great.
It's fucking, you know, how's your father? Better send me a couple of copies. Just because, why not? But okay, but where would we prop it?
Right here.
Okay. We have to sign it both sides, you know.
Yeah, let's do the second one first.
What?
Let's do the second one first.
Okay. The master's
Grab
gone
that.
away.
Grab that one, Mick.
Yeah. Crack car. Okay. We got to prop it nicely.
I'll hold it. Joe, you want to start the second one?
I think he should. Okay. I think it's his responsibility.
I'm taking whole new energy to it. Brand new brushes for this one. Right? Brand new.
Yeah.
A brand new sheath. All right.
That's not fucking bad. Look at that. Could we claim it was a work of fucking genius? Or is it merely a work of genius? Oh shit. Yeah, you're a mucky bastard, right? Look at you.
Oh yeah. I was trying for yellow on that other one too, actually.
Oh well. Well, we got it on this one. We knew we had to squeeze it in, so fuck it. There we go. But I think it's your turn now. I'm not doing any more work till you do some more work. Right? I'll make him fucking do. Paint on the floor. What do you want?
Oh yeah.
Grab anything you want. Like my trousers are nice and baggy. Like a dick boy. Captain Olivia Dick Boy. Let's fucking look at that. I think it requires a wee toucher. Get back into the reds. We said we'd like a nice rendition of a flower, Mick. The fuck are you doing? That one's not fucking bad. That costs them 5 and 9 pence, though, you know. You go and give them what, 5 and 9 pence, you know? No, you don't.
How many is that in shekels?
I'm not sure about that. That's difficult. The master's gone. Yeah, that could represent an arsehole.
I see Conan. I see Conan O'Brien.
No, I would say it's more of an arsehole, to be honest. It could be if you wanted it to be. Jimmy Crack Card, I don't care. Jimmy Crack Card, and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Card, and I don't care.
The master's gone away. Yeah. All right. 7. Is it a mark? See, the big thing is.
I think I'm gonna call it.
You think? Yeah, because we can fucking go over
No,
the top.
this is that. Joe's putting the finishing touch.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I was fed up with
dope. That's like the Statue of Liberty now. Look at that one's crazy.
I was getting fed up with
Dance. It's like it's weird.
in the rebel rouse.
Dude.
But look, it's not so terrible.
It's beautiful.
What should we charge it for? What should we charge it?
I don't know. It's
How,
like
how much an inch? You charge by the inch.
3 million an inch.
No, I don't know that much. No, either it's an inch or it's 3 million. Can't be right.
Look at this skull right here.
Where's the fucking skull then? Look at that. He's been fucking taking
That's dope. Isn't that a skull?
I'm telling you, he's been at the fucking knob guys
And
again.
look at this character. This is actually out of Pink Floyd. You see that?
Looks like giving someone a fucking blowjob, a monkey with a red dick.
That always comes in my hand. Why? Look at this guy's dancing. See? Like, with a
he's
smile.
because he's a
And he's got, like,
ballerina.
fucking-
No, he's really a ballerina. He's not
Look
Fred
at that.
It's not Fred Astaire.
It's crazy.
No, it's not Fred Astaire.
Are we done though? Is it done?
I think we are. I think we could have squeezed out a little bit more, but I don't think we want to. I think we like it just the way it is. And that, my friend, is that. God bless
Say
you.
goodnight.
One and all. God bless
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Mick Rock.
99.
I'm humbled.
No, we're not humble.
I'm honored.
No, we're not going to
Enjoy
humble.
this.
Fuck them.
Okay, yeah. Hi, this is Joseph Arthur. Thanks for checking out Come to Where I'm From. Please support us on Patreon, patreon.com/come to where I'm from. We are an independent podcast, and any contributions you can make are greatly appreciated.